Far beyond the bustling cities of Russia, tucked deep into the northeast corner of Siberia, lies a remote settlement where the laws of nature bend to the extreme. This is Oymyakon, a place where cold is not just a season, it's an identity. A land where rivers become roads and human breath becomes smoke. Located in the Sakha Republic, also known as Yakutia, Oymyakon sits on permafrost, ground that remains frozen all year round. The village is home to fewer than 1,000 people, and yet it has captured global curiosity as the coldest permanently inhabited settlement on Earth. But this isn't a story about records and temperatures. It's a story about resilience, about people who live not in spite of nature's cruelty, but in harmony with it. The climate in Oymyakon isn't simply cold, it's otherworldly. The average January temperature hovers around -50 degrees Celsius or -58 degrees Fahrenheit. The record low, set in 1933, is a staggering -71.2 degrees Celsius. That's -96.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Colder than Antarctica in some places, and colder than recorded temperatures on Mars. At these extremes, the human body undergoes immediate stress. Eyelashes freeze together. Eyeglasses can stick to your skin and cause injuries. Exposed skin begins to freeze within 60 seconds. Oil in machinery thickens like molasses. Even ink freezes inside pens. The phenomenon of temperature inversion, where cold air is trapped close to the ground under warmer layers, intensifies the village's coldness. Oymyakon's valley location means the cold settles in and refuses to leave. In Oymyakon, survival depends on fire. Every household uses wood-burning stoves as their primary source of heat. There's no centralized heating grid, no gas pipelines. Each family must gather, cut and prepare over 30 cubic meters of wood. That's more than 10 tons per winter. The process begins months in advance. Men trek into the forests, often over frozen rivers, to find dry birch and larch trees. After cutting, the logs are dragged by sled or snowmobile to be split and stacked in giant walls outside the home. Inside, fires must be monitored around the clock. If the flame dies, temperatures inside homes can fall below zero in just hours. For elderly residents, it's not just comfort, it's life or death. In most modern towns, plumbing is a given, but in Oymyakon, the cold makes traditional systems impossible. Pipes freeze and burst, and water cannot be stored outside. Instead, people rely on manually collected water from wells, often dug through 1 to 2 meters of ice. These wells are warmed with underground springs or protected by fire-heated chambers. Residents walk or ride to them daily, filling buckets that are carried home with care. Water here is as precious as gold. Bathing requires planning. Most households have a banya, or Russian steam sauna, used once or twice a week for full-body cleansing. The banya becomes a sacred ritual, a place to clean, warm, and gather. And toilets? Outhouses, often 20 to 30 meters from the house, are used year-round. At -60 degrees Celsius, that short walk is a test of endurance. Childhood in Oymyakon may look bleak to outsiders, but to locals, it's a rite of passage. Children are bundled in multiple layers of clothing: wool, reindeer fur, down coats, and boots stuffed with hay. Only their eyes peek through the frost. Schools operate unless the temperature drops below -52 degrees Celsius or -61 degrees Fahrenheit. Children walk or ride sleds to class, even in near darkness. School buildings are heated with wood stoves, and classrooms become havens of warmth, laughter, and learning. After school, children help chop firewood, tend to animals, or collect water. But there's joy too: sledding, skating, snow sculpting, and celebrating winter festivals with Yakut music, throat singing, and traditional dress. In these extreme conditions, children become resilient, independent, and resourceful from an early age. With virtually no agriculture and minimal imports, Oymyakon's diet is forged by the cold. Meat is the cornerstone. Horse meat, reindeer, and frozen freshwater fish like muksun and chir are consumed in abundance. High fat content helps maintain body heat. Stroganina, a delicacy, is raw fish sliced thin while frozen and eaten with salt. Fish never needs refrigeration. The outdoor air preserves it better than any freezer. Locals also make kuyur, a dish from frozen blood and milk, and indigirka salad, a mix of raw fish, onion, and oil. Vegetables are rare, so vitamins come from wild berries, gathered in summer and frozen for use year-round. Meals are communal. Food is shared generously, not just for nutrition, but to reinforce social bonds. Every bite carries history, culture, and survival. Why do people stay in a place so unforgiving? Ask any resident of Oymyakon, and the answer is the same. This is home. It's where they were born, where their ancestors hunted, sang, and prayed. Where the land may freeze, but the heart remains warm. Here, nature teaches humility. It forces people to cooperate, to help each other. In this isolation, they find community, clarity, and connection to something deeper than convenience. Modern life may tempt younger generations, but for many, the call of tradition is stronger than the cold. Oymyakon stands as a testament that even in the most extreme environments on Earth, human spirit endures. Beyond the biting cold and physical hardships lies a rich cultural heritage, one shaped by generations of indigenous peoples, Soviet settlers, and natural forces. The people of Oymyakon are predominantly Yakut, or Sakha, an indigenous group with deep spiritual ties to the land, the rivers, the animals, and even the frost itself. Their language, Sakha, is still widely spoken alongside Russian. It's a Turkic language, beautifully expressive, filled with words for snow, wind, and silence that have no translation in English. Language here is not just communication, it's survival. It carries the knowledge of which ice is safe to walk on, which clouds foretell a storm, and how to navigate during polar twilight. Traditional beliefs still pulse beneath the surface. Many elders speak of the Lord of the Frost, a spirit believed to live in the coldest air. Children are told not to whistle at night so as not to awaken him. Before entering a frozen forest, it's common to offer a whisper of respect or drop a piece of bread, a humble gesture of coexistence with nature's spirits. Modern religions like Orthodox Christianity exist here too, but they often blend with ancient customs. Villagers may attend a church service on Sunday and still leave offerings to forest spirits during summer solstice. The economy of Oymyakon is as unique as its climate. Jobs here are not driven by factories or corporations, but by necessity, adaptation, and survival economies. Some residents herd reindeer, an ancient practice requiring deep knowledge of the tiger's rhythms. Reindeer provide transportation, food, and even clothing. Their hides turned into boots and coats by skilled hands. Others fish under frozen rivers, setting lines through thick ice and waiting patiently in the snow. There are teachers, medics, road maintenance crews, and shopkeepers, but wages are modest. Fuel, groceries, and medicine are flown in or brought by truck on the Kolyma Highway, known chillingly as the Road of Bones. Built by Gulag prisoners during Stalin's reign, many of whom died in the cold, it remains the town's lifeline to the outside world. But isolation comes at a cost. Internet is slow. There are no shopping malls, no cinemas. For serious medical care, one must travel for 2 days to Yakutsk, often in unpredictable weather. And yet locals speak of contentment, of not being overwhelmed by the noise of the modern world. And then, almost as if the earth exhales, summer arrives. For just 6 to 8 weeks, the snow recedes. The ground softens. Wildflowers bloom in meadows that were frozen tundra days earlier. Rivers burst free, roaring with melted snow. The sun shines nearly 22 hours a day, creating a dreamlike world of eternal twilight. During this short window, life accelerates. Families repair homes, gather herbs, berries and mushrooms, and stockpile everything for the next winter. Children play freely, barefoot on green grass. Horses graze, bees return, the village comes alive. Despite mosquitoes, which appear in clouds and bite fiercely, summer is a time of celebration. Weddings, festivals, open-air markets, and late-night songs fill the weeks with joy. The sun doesn't set, and neither do the people's spirits. But all know it won't last. The frost waits just beneath the surface, and by mid-August night returns, the winds shift, and the prelude to winter begins again. Oymyakon is more than a place on a map. It's a living lesson. A frozen classroom where nature teaches humility, adaptability, and cooperation. It challenges our idea of what's livable. It reminds us that comfort is relative, that happiness is possible even in -60 degrees Celsius, and that culture can thrive without skyscrapers or Wi-Fi speeds. This village proves that resilience is not born from abundance, but from necessity, that humans can adapt not just biologically, but spiritually, and that in places where the sun disappears and snow falls endlessly, people still wake up, light the fire, and carry on. In a world increasingly addicted to speed, comfort, and instant gratification, Oymyakon whispers something ancient, something sacred. That slowness, silence, and hardship can build stronger communities, deeper wisdom, and a kind of peace the modern world has forgotten. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes this the warmest, coldest place on Earth.